Hey Canucks fans, let's talk a little bit more about Oliver Ekman-Larsson's game last night. I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Tuesday, September the 28th. If you're new, this is what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. And as always, this vlog is brought to you by Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Just click on the link in my video descriptions down below. Canucks won 4-2 last night. I correctly nailed the score prediction. It's funny, you guys know that I always pick Canucks 4-2, and it happens maybe twice a season. It happened in the second game of the year this year, which is pretty cool, although it's only exhibition. And one of the main reasons why the Canucks won was defenseman Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Now, I'm not saying that just because he had the most points, anyone on the team, he had his 2 assists. Almost had 3, actually. Almost scored an empty net goal. So he could have walked out a win last night with a goal and 2 assists, which would have been pretty good. But again, it's not just about the points. But I do think that he acquitted himself very well. I thought he had a pretty strong game. And as you see from the title of my video, it was a good first impression. Now, you might say, well, Clay, I didn't get a good first impression of Ekman-Larsson when I found out about his contract when we traded for him, and I saw him dogging it in the bag skate. And we know that I always say that's kind of like my phrase of the week is context is key. Remember, that was the last couple laps of 4 bag skates basically that they do at practice. So I don't think we should read too much about it. I think people are going to forget about it once the season starts, especially if Ekman-Larsson has a good start to the season. Now, I get it. 6 more years on his contract, worth $8.25 million. Arizona is basically picking up $1 million of that. So we're still on the hook for $7.25 million over the course of the next 6 seasons. It's going to be hard for Ekman-Larsson to outplay that contract for all 6 of those seasons. But I'll take it if he outplays that contract in 3 or 4 of those 6 seasons, and then we can figure out what to do with him at the very end. But I see a good player, and I truly believe the narrative or the story or the reasoning that he was on a bad team in Arizona and maybe he wasn't as motivated. You'd hope that a professional athlete is always motivated, but of course they're human beings too. They have ebbs and flows in their emotions and in their intensity. That's just human nature. So I would love it if Ekman-Larsson proved all the doubters wrong, especially those people in this market, and at least makes that contract worth it. Lives up to that contract is what I guess I'm trying to say. And I think he can. Now, what I saw in his game last night, for the most part, was a guy who's very smart, who does not panic with the puck. And now, granted, again, context is key. We were playing against a Calgary Flames team that basically had 1 scoring line, and that's it. But still, these guys are professional or semi-pro players, and I thought Ekman-Larsson was quite good. He has a lot of poise, for sure. He doesn't seem like he gets rushed along the line. He doesn't seem like he gets rushed along the boards. And one thing I did notice is he gets his shots to the net. They're not always the hardest shot ever, big slappers, but kind of like I said last night, Travis Hamonic like half slapper from his waist down, and it's hard. And you can tell that he's waiting for guys, his forwards, to get into position for a deflection or to screen the goaltender. So I saw it a couple occasions last night where Ekman-Larsson was really good about making a smart play to the net or putting it in the corner if he had to. So again, I'm not handing him the Norris Trophy just yet, but I did think that he had a good start yesterday against a weaker Calgary Flames team and a stronger Canucks team for his teammates. But I thought Ekman-Larsson was good. And if that's what he can bring to the Canucks defense, then I think at least he will be fine. Now, a lot of people are saying he looked like a younger Alex Edler wearing the same number 23, sort of the same build, a bit taller, lankier. I have time for that argument, and I thought I saw shades of Alex Edler, but he's his own man, of course, a few years younger than Edler. But we do remember how good Edler was in especially 2011, 12, 13, in the early part of last decade. So if that's what we're getting in Oliver Ekman-Larsson, I think the Canucks fans would be fine with it, and I'm looking forward to see what he does going forward. Now, his playing partner was Tucker Poolman. I saw them play together for the first time on Saturday at training camp, and then, of course, on TV last night. And I thought Poolman was fine as well. He doesn't, kind of like Ekman-Larsson, doesn't try and do too much. You might argue that a Hughes or a Myers might try and do too much, but Poolman doesn't seem to be that type. He's a good skater, especially for a guy his size. And I think when he's playing with Ekman-Larsson, he kind of defers to Ekman-Larsson as the veteran, as the more experienced player, whether you call it the smarter player, whatever it may be. So I think you're going to see that a lot. I think they're going to be a good pairing because they complement each other quite well. And Poolman will once in a while make an offensive foray, but generally two guys that can play stay at home, and that's what you want for your top defensive pairing, at least your matchup pairing, so to speak. Let's keep going, talking about the defenseman. I thought Jack Rathbone had another good game last night. Not as much on the score sheet, no points, but very effective, especially better in the defensive end, and that's what Travis Green noticed as well. Myers was fine. Juolevi was better than he was on Sunday night, and then Jet Wu was fine as a third line right shot guy. So potentially that's for the top 6 that we're going to see when the season starts. So let's presume that Quinn Hughes doesn't start the season with the team, just for a second, and let's presume that Travis Hamonic isn't on the team, and we did a whole video on that yesterday. I could see a top 6 because I do think Rathbone is ahead of Hunt and definitely ahead of Juolevi. And I'm not worried about Juolevi having to claim waivers. I'm not sure anyone's going to claim Juolevi on waivers. So let's say there's no Hughes and no Hamonic. I could see a top 6 of Ekman-Larsson with Poolman. Then you have Rathbone and Myers on your second line, second pairing. And then a very dependable, veteran, experienced third pairing of Brad Hunt and Luke Schenn. Not the most flashy, but classic third pairing material. So again, with no Hughes and no Hamonic, it could be Ekman-Larsson, Poolman, Rathbone, Myers, Hunt, and Schenn. Let's say Hughes, that means Juolevi's kind of the 7th man. And then immediately the depth falls off really quickly after that. Unlike the forwards where there's a lot of guys battling that 4th line spot, and then we're going to have some really good potential for call-ups, at least depth, and not so much on the blue line. So obviously it's very important if Hughes and Hamonic can both play. It just makes our defense that much better. If Hughes does play, then I see something like Ekman-Larsson and Poolman, Hughes and Myers, and then you go Rathbone and Schenn, or I could even see Hughes and Schenn. They played together before when Quinn Hughes first broke in the league, and then Myers along with Rathbone and Myers as your third pairing, and that would mean that Juolevi and Hunt are both out. The good thing is with Hunt is he can play left side or right side, so there's a chance where if there's no Hamonic, you could put Hunt in instead of Schenn. So you could go something like Ekman-Larsson, Poolman, Hughes with Schenn or Hunt, and then Rathbone with Myers. And then if Hamonic comes back, obviously he's top 4. Then I would go Ekman-Larsson, Poolman, Hughes, Hamonic, and then a third pairing of one of Rathbone or Hunt on the left, and then Myers on the right. So if we're full, I see Luke Schenn as being the 4th guy on the right side, and if we're full, I see Brad Hunt being the 4th guy on the left side, and then you have Juolevi back in Abbotsford. So now you're 9 deep at least for guys that can play in the NHL. But a lot of things got to happen. Obviously, Quinn Hughes got to be signed. That will happen. We just don't know when. I think the bigger question is Travis Hamonic, and we'll have some more clarity by Friday. So all to say, a lot of people are calling Ekman-Larsson the linchpin to the Canucks' success this season because of the high-profile contract and how much we're spending on him and the fact that he's going to be counted on for number 1 top pairing minutes. He's going to be a very important part of the Canucks' success this season. And if last night was any indication, again, context is key, then maybe he'll be able to live up to his contract, at least for the first few years. Canucks fans, let me know what you think in the comments below. Talk to me about Ekman-Larsson's game. Talk to me about Poolman's game. Talk to me about what your pairings will look like with and without Hughes and or Hamonic. So there's a lot of uncertainty, as we know, but I think in projections we can safely say that Hughes will be on the team. Hamonic, maybe that one's a little bit more up in the air. But leave a comment below. I love to read, react, and reply as always. Shout out to my hero members, nucksfan number 29, Justin Credible, Lucas Gates, and Andrew Chang, and to Hall of Fame members Jens95, Sim Alexander, Chris Seifert, Adam Broomfield, and Shannon Hollingworth. Thanks for your support as always, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. You are listed in my video descriptions. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or any of my videos, or on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, become a member of this channel if you'd like to, leave a comment if you'd like to. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.